that off. When he got his debut with the Rays, when he was called up his starting day, now he was called up on game 163 in the one season, and they won it went into the playoffs. It was a big deal. Then he went back down to the minors. The following season, they call him up. He is a starter. He starts a game. And he had such a significant game that he never lost his spot after that. Because he knew that he only had one shot. He had to work really hard to make this team, because there was a lot of good players on this team. I mean, at the time, we had B.J. Upton. We had some other guys that were just fabulous players. But he took the spot. And when he gets back from his injury, he'll have that spot. And it's all because of the hard work he put in. And he will tell you, and he said in this interview, it's my work ethic. I work harder than anybody out there. And it's like my son says, too, my youngest son. He really likes him. We call him the outlaw, Kevin Kiermaier. And it's, I will outwork you. I will outplay you. I will outthink you. I will outdo everything of you, because I will beat you. And that's what he lives by. That takes hard work. You don't just become a premier center fielder on a team because your name is Kevin Kiermaier. You don't become a premier batting machine because your name is Mickey Mantle. It takes hard work. See, it's all up to you. Your turning point is the moment that you take the first steps towards an opportunity that could change your life. You know what the opportunities are. You know what you're passing up. You know what you're avoiding. See, those become your turning points. If you stop and you don't avoid that, and you say, you know what? I'm going to take on that opportunity, because I'm going to work as hard as I can. I'm going to outwork everyone there is that is going after this. I'm going to outwork them. I'm going to outthink them. I'm going to outplay them. I'm going to outstudy them. I'm going to outdo everything, because I want it that bad. But that takes hard work. It's up to you. Is that going to become your turning point? You see, what people don't understand, and I find it really hard for myself to understand that people don't understand this, is that first step is what it's that first step. It's the hardest step that you will take. After that, it's just step after step, baby. You just got to keep on going for it. And every step that you take, it gets easier and easier until you get to the prize. Now, it gets easier to take the steps. Sometimes your challenge gets more difficult, and you have to put more into it. But you've already taken the first step, which is the hardest step. You've already made the decision. That's the hard part. That's your turning point. When you make that decision, I'm not going to put up with this anymore. I am not going to sit on the couch collecting welfare anymore. I am not going to take the handouts anymore. I am not going to take this at my job anymore. That's your turning point, as long as you take a step towards whatever it is that you want to change. Hard work pays off in many, many, many ways. It's satisfaction, personal satisfaction, internal personal satisfaction, money, more opportunities. One of the most important things I've learned over my years about hard work is that hard work, it cannot be faked. And most people, if not all people I know, that are looking for hard workers, they can pick out the fakes and they can pick out the real deal. Don't waste your time trying to fake it. You either do it or you don't. Hard work is necessary in just about everything you do. You understand that when you go after something, if you're in business, if you're going for a promotion, if you're in a relationship, hard work, it can't be circumvented. It can't be skipped. It can't be artificially accelerated. It's a process. You have to put in the work to get the reward. You know, over the years, I've known family members and I've known friends and I've known people in the news that have tried to either circumvent the hard work or artificially accelerate it or whatever. And now they're either in jail or they're out of a job or they've been investigated by the FBI. That's how serious that gets. When you try to fake it to make it, yeah, I understand. There's a lot of people say fake it to make until you make it. Yeah, as long as you're putting in the hard work. But don't try to fake the hard work. Don't try to skip the processes because that's what will get you. I guess what I'm trying to say is that a dedicated effort is the very essence of hard work. If you're dedicated to what you're doing and you're working at it diligently and you're really putting everything, your heart, your mind, and your soul into this, that's hard work. And that will be recognized. As far back as I can remember, my grandparents, my teachers, my coaches, parents have all told me that if you apply yourself, Jeff, and you work hard, you can achieve anything. And you know what I found out? That's the absolute truth. I have come to accept that as absolute truth, as an absolute life truth. Over the years, I've shared this truth with anybody that would listen to me. The thing is, we all feel like we are working as hard as we can. But it just seems like we're never getting anywhere. It's because we're not doing the right things. And I can tell you that's just not true. Simply starting the process of going after what you want moves you onto the path and a little bit down it. And when you get down just a little bit down the path towards what you want, you can create momentum. And once you get that momentum started by continuously moving towards that and putting in the hard work, things happen. See, taking that step, it moves you off the starting blocks and it gets you one step closer to what you really want. Or what you want, whatever your goal is, whatever you're seeking. But if you never put yourself into the starting blocks and take a step, it's not going to happen. It's not. The following 5 things are things that I think all hard work should include, and I try to include this in everything that I do. And I talk to young people and people, professional people. I always bring these things up when we're talking about hard work. And I think hard work, one of the first things is drive. And the drive is that motivation, that inspiration, the entire reason why you are working hard or why you need to work hard. Drive is that push behind your efforts. Some people say it's the heart of your effort. The next piece is the plan. If you don't have a plan, You don't have, you're not going anyplace. The plan is the skeleton of whatever it is that you're trying to do. It's what you start building like your body onto, right? If it's a skeleton, your plan is what maps out your course of action. How are you going to get there? Some people have written plans, some people don't, but they know where they're going and they know how they're going to get there. And that's their plan. It could be that simple. The next one is what I used to talk to a lot of the athletes about. It's the grind. The grind is when everything stops being fun. And there'll be a part in your life where it's like that. Or in practice. It's when practice stops being fun and it becomes tedious and stressful and even discouraging. I used to talk with my youngest son when he was in college football, and he'd call up and he'd say, Dad, it's 130 on the field today. They're weighing us on and off the field to see how much fluids we left. And I used to say to him, yeah, they used to say there'll be days like this. It's where you lose the fun, but it's part of the grind. And it becomes tedious because you have to be able to function in those kind of things. Think about this. The young men and women that go to war in Iraq, that went to war in Iraq or Afghanistan, you know, for some, it was really cool that, you know, they're in the military, blah, blah, blah. They're fighting machines, they're fighting soldiers, and then they get stuck in a desert. The fun stops. It becomes tedious because you have to be able to think. It becomes very stressful because you don't know what's coming at you. And it becomes even discouraging because maybe you're taking something and then the next day you're giving it back. See, what I used to tell the athletes that I work with, the grind is what separates the winners from the losers. You got to get in the grind. The next biggest one, which seems to be the stopper for most people, is sacrifice. I ain't going to sugarcoat this. Hard work requires personal sacrifice. You got to give up something to get something. It will test your endurance through the strains on your relationships, on your finances, on your very soul. Sacrifice will truly, truly test you. It will test you, and it will test your comfort zone or your comfort level, how much you're willing to give up to go up. But the biggest piece of this whole thing is the payoff. The payoff is the brass ring. That's the prize. But you can't get a payoff if you don't define your goals and what your success is going to be. Once you do that, you got to ante up. You got to put it in the pot, man, and you got to play your cards. Sometimes you get the big payoff. Sometimes you have to fold it. See, hard work is a lifestyle. And it's a lifestyle that enables you to take the payoffs, celebrate your wins, and then reinvest your wins into your next challenge. When you work hard and you take big risks, you normally will achieve big goals. And your payoff is not only in monetary rewards, but the internal personal satisfaction that comes with it, that you cannot describe in words. If you don't understand that, give me a call. Write me an email. I'll tell you what it feels like to achieve something that everyone told you could not be achieved. And then you're the one that makes it happen. Or you're a part of the team that makes it happen. So as I leave you today, and as you celebrate Independence Day tomorrow,